Hello students, welcome to Shore Sir classes. Now today the question is about a function. A function that is given, that is a real number. So a function that is a real number, that is defined by function of xy. Function of xy, that is equals to xy. So we have given here f xy, that is function of xy, that is equals to xy. Let v equals to 1 and 2, where v is equals to 1 and 2 and a, that is equals to a1 a2, a that is equals to a1 a2. They be the two elements of R square. So they are the two elements of R square. Okay. Now the directional derivatives of f in the direction of v at a is which of the following? That we have asked here. I am just repeating myself for you. The directional derivative of f, that is the direction of v at a, is which of the following? So if we just look into the thing first, then we can show that if, that is, and with the real number square, that is r, as we have in the question like this, we are just writing it now. That is defined as xy, defined as xy x comma y, and that is equals to xy, that we know from the question. Now fx equals to y we can write, and if y equals to x we can also write similarly. Now in the direction of a1 a2, let me write it for you. In the direction of a1 a2, a1 comma a2, that is the derivative is a1 fx plus a2 fy, and this is equal to the a1y plus a2x. We can write it like this. So just repeating myself, that is a1 fx, if I just write a1 fx plus a2 fy. Now we can also write it, that is equals to a1y plus a2x. Okay, I think there is no problem. So at point, okay, I'm just writing it here, at point of 1 and 2, point 1 2, that is equals to 2a1 plus a2. We can write it like this way. So if we just look at this question again, so we know this is, that is a real number, function of a real number, and that is defined as xy, that is equals to x multiplied into y. Now we can write it like this way, that is fx, let me change the color for you. Okay, yeah, can write it like this way, fx, that is equals to y, and if y that is equals to x. Now in the direction of a1 a2, the directional derivative, that is a1 fx plus a2 fy, and that is equals to a1y plus a2x at point 1 and 2, that is equals to 2a1 and plus a2. Now we have these options as answer. So here I think this will be the answer. If we just do it, if we just simplify this equation, we can find that 2a1 plus a2. So this will be the answer of this following question 24. Now moving to the next question, and this question is about a summation. Now we have a summation look like this, and we have to solve this. Okay, this one is really easy. Now if we just do it in this way, that we can write it as equals to limit, and given limits are in, that is equals to tends to infinity, and then 1 by n to the power 4. Now the summation would be, there would be limit, upper limit of 2n minus 1 and lower limit j, that is equals to 0. Now in the summation there would be j3. So this is the equation. Now in the next step we can write it like this way, limit as it was tends to infinity, then 1 by n to the power 4 normal, and then in this, for this thing we can write it like 1 cube plus 2 cube plus dot 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 2n minus 1 up to 2n minus 1 cube, and within the third brackets. From this step, in the next step we can write limit that n tends to infinity and 1 by n to the power 4, and in the third bracket we can write it 2n minus 1, 2n minus 1, that is whole into 2n, that's divided by 2, and here the whole square. Now in the next step, from this step we can write it, this limit part will be the same obviously, and 1 by n to the power 4. For this part we can write it in this way, 2n minus 1, that is whole square, into 2n square, we are just splitting it, okay, and below that is 4, that is 2 square 4. So now that will be in first bracket or third bracket, whatever you would like to do, no matter. Okay, just let me erase this. This is okay, yeah. Now in the next step we can do one thing, and that we can write it like this, limit that is n tends to infinity and 1 by n to the power 4, and then we can do one thing, that constant part outside of the bracket, that is 1 by 4, and then we start the bracket to write it in this way, that is 2 minus 1 by n, and that is a whole square into 2 square. We can write it also in this way. Now from this thing, from the step, okay, I'm just doing it top of the page. We can write 1 by 4, that we take constant part outside of the bracket, and then we can write it 4 into 4, right? Now as we know the value of the part, and now if we just solve it, this will be the thing, that is 4. One thing I want to tell you about this, we have now the answer, obviously, that is answer will be option A, 4. Now I just want to tell you one thing here. In this step particularly, let me change the color for you first. Okay, I'm taking this. Okay, at this step, why we have written this? Because, okay, let me use the eraser. Yeah. Because 1 cube plus 2 cube plus dot 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 plus n cube, this is equals to n whole into n plus 1 divided by 2, and that is whole square. So this is the thing why we have written this. So thank you for watching this video.